So, today we're going to be talking about how you can implement the right routines and rituals in your life to elevate your performance, your earning potential, and just ultimately boost your energy and feel happier on a day to day basis so that you can avoid burnout and fatigue and really stay focused on work that matters most to you. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 9 of the key routines and rituals that I run in my own life and I teach within the Peak Prosper program. Those are an optimal morning routine, morning work block, something I call the lunch hour of excellence, how you can make the most of your afternoon and avoid that afternoon work fatigue, something called WWD or the work wind down ritual. We'll also talk about how to optimize your evening so you can make the most of your evening quality time doing things that really matter to you. And then we'll set you up with some rituals to really stack your pre-sleep routine so that you can fall into a really restful night of sleep. And then because I know as an entrepreneur, it's really easy to fall into the constant struggle and hustle and grind. And then we don't make time for ourselves and our relationships at the end of the week on a consistent basis. And as a result, those areas of our lives suffer. So I'd like to first talk about optimizing your morning routine. And I believe that people overcomplicate this. But when we skip our morning routine, we miss out on the foundational time that's necessary to really optimize the rest of our day. So when I look at morning routine, I really see it broken into 4 key blocks. And the first block I call the Stoke block. And the intention of the Stoke block is really to just wake up. Wake up the body. Maybe you splash some water on your face, you rise from bed, you say some short prayers, you maybe drink some coffee and some water. It's key to drink water first thing right when you wake up so that you can activate all your organs and really get your body functioning, get your metabolism going. So this should really just take 5 to 10 minutes of your morning routine, okay? Now the next block, I call it the sweat block. And what this is some intentional exercise first thing in the morning, right away. And for you that are listening right now, you might be thinking like working out in the morning is not for me. Well, after you do this consistently for a day or 3 days or a week, you'll realize that working out first thing in the morning is absolutely key. Because what this does is it decreases your cortisol levels. Decrease cortisol, which is a stress-causing hormone. And your cortisol levels are actually at their very peak first thing when you wake up in the morning. It also activates something called BDNF. Okay, brain-derived neurons, which just gets your brain activated and turns it on so that you can think better. And we're not talking about a huge workout, just 10 to 20 minutes of high intensity workout in the morning. So we've done your Stoke block, we've done your sweat block. Now we're going to go straight into something that I call growth. And this growth block is just intended to empower you with the time that you need to elevate your personal and professional development. So develop your mind. And really just become the best version of yourself. In this growth block, you're maybe reading some books, listening to podcasts, investing in your own personal and professional growth. And then this last block, I call it the reflection period. And the reflection period is intended to bring you the clarity that you need to step into each day. Really plan your priorities or review the plan that you established the day before and spend some time in meditation and reflection and just bringing yourself to a calm, centered state before you dive into your AM work rhythm. Now let's talk about that next. And before I wipe this away, I just want to make a couple of key comments. It's important with your morning routine that it's consistent. So it's something that you run 5 to 7 days a week. It's short, it's repeatable, and it's really simple. So this morning routine that I just shared with you here can be conducted in less than 1 hour per day. And it's really foundational to stacking a successful day. So let's talk next about optimizing your morning work block. So this is your AM work period. And there's just a couple of key notes that I'd like to make about this. Now, when you dive into your morning work block is really that time of day in which your mind is often the most sharp. So it's important that we focus on 3 key things during this time. And the first key thing is creating what I call a tight bubble of total focus. Tight bubble of total focus. TBOTF. Tight bubble of total focus. And what this is it's free from distractions. These are your cell phone, the dog barking, the demands from the wife, the ringing, the dinging, the social media browsing, the distractions that do not support your number one thing that you're going to focus on for 90 minutes. First thing. So it's picking that number one most important project that you want to propel forward, the one that's going to give you a gargantuan competitive advantage in your field. And it's purely focusing on that one thing. Now, when I say you're free from distractions, that means that you don't have at your access things that don't actually support the number one thing. Now, thirdly, you'll have 2 more 60-minute pockets built into your morning work block to focus on item 2 and item 3 that is the next most important thing on your to-do list. Now, your to-do list that you've created, and we're going to talk about your work wind-down routine in a little bit here, is ideally already set up for you before you go into your morning work block. So you already know exactly what you need to be focused on doing that is going to propel you forward. So one last note that I want to make here for the morning is building in something that I call recharge breaks. Okay, these are just short breaks between your 90, 60, 60 bursts of work that give you the time that you need to hydrate, just maybe settle back down, bring your focus back to center, and help you just maintain your momentum so that you don't get to your lunch hour just feeling incredibly exhausted and fatigued. Which leads us to our next routine that I want to talk about, running. And this is your lunch hour. Okay? A lot of entrepreneurs and busy businessmen just skip their lunch hour altogether. Or they do something called eating on the go or eating in meetings because they're too busy to take some time out during the middle of the day to just rest, reflect, and recharge. The triple R's of high performance. Now, I've developed something called LHOE, which is the lunch hour of excellence. And the lunch hour of excellence is designed intentionally to give you some time invested into yourself in the middle of each day to rest, reflect, and recharge before you go into your afternoon work pocket with nearly the same level of energy that you had in the morning. Now, there's some critical elements to this lunch hour of excellence formula, and those are taking the time to have a 10 to 15 minute nap. If you look at the GOATs, the greatest of all times, people like Einstein and Edison and Steve Jobs, they're known for consistently taking an afternoon nap so that their brain can settle down and actually recover in the middle of the day before they dive back into doing more of their deep work that actually matters to them. The next element of this is just a short 3 to 5 minute meditation. Just observing your thoughts and your breath and bringing you back to a centered state of calm. Now, after this, believe it or not, we're going to build in a 15 to 20 minute workout. And this can be simple. It could be high intensity, it could be low intensity, but the idea again is to reactivate your blood flow, your neurons, and get you firing at optimal performance. And then lastly, we're going to nourish your body. Give yourself some nourishment, some healthy food, some water, maybe some chocolate. Not overeating. The key here is to nourish your body with the food that you need to sustain a balanced level of energy into the afternoon without eating that ginormous midday meal, which just leads you to a state of lethargy and just feeling kind of exhausted and groggy in the afternoon. So let's dive into just talking briefly about your afternoon work block and giving you a couple of key insights and things that you can build into your afternoon session. So this is your PM work block. PM work block. Some keynotes here are to reserve this time for lower quality work, lower value. Okay, these are things like maybe meetings, emails. If you have to do social media for your work, maybe this is social media stuff. Okay, it's lower value work. But I also recommend building in some high value work during this block as well. These are things that are, again, moving that number one goal forward. So what are the 3 key afternoon things that you can do to move your number one goal forward? That number one goal was what you worked on during the beginning stage of your day. That first 90-minute focus block. So the afternoon intent here is to spend some time doing lower value work while still moving your number one goal forward, and also giving yourself the autonomy to do the activities that bring you into flow state. For me, these are things like skiing, maybe skateboarding, mountain biking. Giving yourself the permission to have this autonomy over your schedule and what you do with your day actually elevates your performance. It gives you something exciting to look forward to doing each day. And it trains your brain to work in that flow state that you're able to tap into during a state of play when you're just doing the things that are most fun to you. Now, as we're transitioning more towards the end of your workday, ideally it's sometime around 4 or 5 p.m., there's some rituals that you can build into what I call your WWD. This is your work wind down, okay? So we've spent all this time up to this point here, really winding up, really activating your brain, moving the things forward that matter the most to you in your career. But when we get to the end of the day, what often happens is we just turn off our computer, close our books, and we go straight into family time. But we haven't neurologically unplugged from work. And as a result, when we go to spend quality time with our family or with our friends or doing the extracurricular activities that we really enjoy in the evenings, we bring our work with us. So I want to empower you with some rituals, some practices that you can implement that help you really wind down at the end of the day and leave your work at work. The first one is spending some time in reflection. And there's 2 key questions that you can ask. Ask yourself in this reflection pocket so that you can learn from your day and improve. And that is, what were your wins? What did you accomplish? What went really well during the day? This will help you build momentum and keep your brain focused on the positive momentum that you have built during this day, rather than defaulting back into any kind of negative thinking or feeling like you haven't made enough progress during the day. So, what were your wins during the day? And secondly, how can you improve? How can you make improvements to your day today? How can you make improvements based on what you've learned today so that tomorrow is a better day than the day before? Now, there's a couple more rituals that you should probably build into your work wind down rhythm and routine. And the next one is to just plan tomorrow, today. Okay? And there's a couple of key things that you should implement into your plan for tomorrow, today. And if we keep this really simple, it's coming up with your focus 5. Okay, these are your top 5 things that you are going to do tomorrow that support your number 1 goal. Do you see how everything here is in support of your number 1 gargantuan goal that is going to give you a significant competitive advantage in your career and in your business? So these 5 things ideally support that number 1 goal. These aren't a variety of priorities. See, when we have variety of priority, we lose priority and we're in priorities, which is a word that was actually originally singular, not plural. So these top 5 things actually support your number 1 thing. Everything should come back to the number 1 goal. That's it for your plan for tomorrow. Just coming up with your 5 things and scheduling them. Schedule them into your schedule for tomorrow, today, so that you can ensure that you have the time that is necessary to get them done. Lastly, how do you leave work at work? Well, you can't see it in my office, but there's a door just to the left of me here. And there's a practice called door framing. Door framing just gives you a physical object to remind you to leave your work mind in your office before you go into your home, your sacred sanctuary where you don't really do work. So the door framing activity is quite simple. It's just looking at the door, taking a deep breath, leaving work in your office, and then exiting your office door with the intent of being present with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones, with your evening, which leads us into our evening. Now, how you use your evening is entirely up to you. But I'd like to share some key things that I use my evening for, the evening rituals that I've built into my own life. Again, for simplicity's sake, we're just going to share 3 key things. One is something that I call the 2WW, which is just the second wind workout. So at the end of the workday, when a lot of your peers, your friends are just feeling really tired, the second wind workout can actually give you another boost of energy at the end of the day, elevating your metabolism, your energy, your drive, your focus, and just improving your overall quality of life. Ideally, your second wind workout is invested into doing something that you actually enjoy. Secondly, I use my evening to invest in relationships that matter the most to me. Generally, this is paired with my second wind workout. If I'm going to go hang out with my buddies, we're probably going to grab a hike or a mountain bike. Or if it's just quality time with my fiance, just disconnected from work, totally present, and investing in our relationship growth. This is really key and important to doing on a consistent daily basis. And then thirdly, I spend a little bit of time each evening And then thirdly, I ensure that I nourish my body with a healthy, balanced meal 2 to 3 hours before I'm going to sleep. So ideally, I eat dinner actually around 5:30 or 6 p.m., about 3 hours before I dive into my pre-sleep ritual. Now, my pre-sleep ritual has some key things built into it that are very important because sleep is actually one of the number one things that we can optimize to improve our performance. As a result of that, my pre-sleep ritual is really, really, really important to me. So there's some key things that I have built into this. I take a warm shower just to wash everything off from the day before. I spend some time reading, meditating, and just totally unplugging. Ideally, I've already unplugged from all my digital devices at some point in this evening pocket. Before I even leave for the workday, I've turned my phone off, I've turned my laptop off, and just totally unplugged from the digital devices that can pull me away from spending quality time with people I love, doing things that I really enjoy. And then lastly, I make sure that my room, my bed, is optimized for sleep. It's free from screens. So I'm not bringing my cell phone with me to work. I'm not scrolling on social media, getting those dopamine hits late at night, keeping me awake. My room is cool and it's pitch dark. It is pitch black so that my brain can't get tricked into thinking that it is still kind of daytime. And for this, I just actually wear an eye patch over my eyes. So there's a couple of last key rituals that I build into my weekly flow of life. And these are really key. These rituals are really, really important to me. They help me maintain my momentum as I continue to pursue Everest-sized goals in my life. And these two key things are ensuring that I have some time for personal pursuits. I have a personal weekly high adventure. Something that challenges me. Something that engages me in the outdoors and is some time just dedicated to the personal pursuits that I truly enjoy and are real passions to me. This gives me the time that I need to nourish relationships with friends and family, which are really one of the most important things to me. It gives me the time to work consistently toward physical goals that challenge me to elevate my health and my physical performance to higher heights. And it just puts a freaking smile on my face to have something fun and adventurous to engage in on a weekly basis. Now, the last ritual that I build into my weekly routine, typically I do this on Sundays, is just a day for thinking, a day to recharge. So Sundays are a day to just think, to recharge, and again to spend quality time investing in relationships that matter most to me. Okay, so in this video today, I've shared a bunch of routines and some key rituals that you can stack into your life to optimize your performance. And as we begin to close today, I just want to share a couple of key things here. So first of all, what I've shared today are just insights into my life and what works for me. You have to fine tune these to align with your own life and find a rhythm that works for you. So find your own rhythm. Find a rhythm that works for you. Consistency and discipline are kind of buzzwords these days. But boy, when it comes to routines and rituals, to actually gain the competitive edge and gain the compound interest per se on the impact that following and running the right routines and rituals can have on your life, discipline is of the utmost importance. Discipline and consistency. And lastly, have fun with this. I mean, really, have fun with this. Implementing the right routines and tacking in some really high value rituals that mean something to you have the ability to empower you with the energy, the focus, the clarity that's necessary to elevate your life to heights beyond your current realm of possibility. That means they empower you with what you need to skyrocket your earning potential, improve your relationships, and take your health and your fitness to new heights. Now, that's it that I have for you today in this video about routines and rituals for optimal performance. If you got value out of today's video, please give it a like, share some comments in the comments section below. I read all the comments. And share this video with someone else in your personal or professional network that you believe would get value out of this. And again, if you'd like to learn more about the work that we do at Peak Prosper to help high-performing, adventurous men reach new heights in their careers, in their business, improve their relationships, and achieve optimal health, then just click the link below. Click the link below and schedule a free consult with me. I'd love to have a short one-on-one chat with you just to see if I can help you reach new heights in your own life. That's it for today. Peace.